Hi there, I'm Alex D, and yeah, well, duh, that's how I look like. Disappointing, isn't it? Anyway, look at this lass in the middle of my desktop. This is Lilith, which is probably going to be the main antagonist in Diablo 4, which me as a Russian will probably never see because, you know, of certain special military operations of a certain geostrategical genius. I don't even know if we're ever going to see patch 2.4 for Diablo 2 Resurrected. I sure hope they don't not release this in Russia for reasons. Okay, that's not what we here for today. Yeah, bought myself a webcam. Actually, we got two. We got two of those. You know, prices here are acting funny, as you can see probably on this here sticker. That's 3,600 rubles, and we actually ordered those online when they were still 2,500 rubles, which is pretty crazy. I mean, the prices are acting really funny at these places, and to the point that you can't even buy like noodles or whatever without running into a certain limit. Like you want to buy yourself maybe a 2-week stock of you know, those fast noodles things, and there's no, not more than I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 things, pieces per pair of hands or whatever. Per receipt at least, but okay, that's pretty much everyone is going crazy and trying to buy as much stuff as possible, because probably we're going to meet some really hard times. But I guess Ukraine would be free of Nazis or whatever. I honestly don't know. I have absolutely no justification for what is going on, and this craziness, unfortunately a lot of Russian people actually support this bullshit, and well, I have to live here with them. I've already ranted about my colleagues being warmongers and stuff, and I was kind of close on losing my shit actually, because, you know, we work at a knife selling company that also sells binoculars, air guns and stuff, and if we got into a fight, you know, everyone working at a knife company basically has a knife, and that would be messy. So the moment I got my you know, this working document thingy, I basically said, nah, I'm not gonna work with you for cash or whatever, because our business actually shut down due to mostly due to Corona crisis, because, well, crisis is crisis, all right, fine, okay, but they also basically shut down malls for a few months. We lost a lot of money, a lot of investors, etc., etc., and basically a lot of our shops closed. And well, as time went on, yeah, our CEO, our main guy who ruled this ship, he died because of Corona, and basically we were left with no real leadership who knows what they were doing and stuff, and basically we somehow floated for an entire year until ultimately succumb into, you know, this thing. And this happened, actually, this bankruptcy happened before the special operation started, you know. Even if we somehow survived that, this special operation would definitely put a final nail in the coffin. And well, yeah, okay, enough of yeah, enough of pessimistic stuff. Let's mod L4D2. I wanna get done with my raid weapons pack. In this case, we're gonna make Ithaca 37 for the pump shotgun. I've already done a Winchester for the home shotgun, so this is a regular wooden, as I call it, pump shotgun. Well, as you might know, TLS, the Last Stand update, added an option for certain weapons, not all of them, but certain weapons, to have texture groups, SkinFamilies, whatever they are called. Long story short, this particular weapon supports Skin2, which is rare because, you know, by default this is always Skin1, unless the mapper who created their map placed a weapon entity in there and specifically set this particular entity to have Skin2 or Skin3, which is only seen in maps made after the Last Stand update, or updated after the Last Stand update. Not many campaigns actually have that. Those Skin2 things of the pump and home shotguns you can actually see in Whitaker's gun shop in Dead Center. And, well, not much elsewhere. But it's always nice to have this as an option. Plenty of campaigns actually have been updated. I don't have the whole list, unfortunately, but it's not one of those features that were like super or whatever. But it's a thing. It's a thing. Unfortunately, it's not a random thing. It's something that the mapper sets manually, and it kind of kills, I guess, the sole purpose of this variety thing. But whatever. Then again, we might have things like secrets or I don't know, plot relevant maybe weapon skins, like you know, the M16 you can find on Bill's corpse in the passing campaign. Alright, enough of that. What I'm going to do is, for variety reasons, the regular skin would actually look cooler than the Skin2. Skin2 will actually be a generic, boring kind of gun, I guess. Alright, let's unhide all. There is plenty of options in raid, plenty of modifications. I don't know exactly how they progress, because there is 3 different stock versions, several barrel versions, unfortunately only 1 pump, and basically nothing else. Alright, so let's hide all the barrels, brakes, stocks. So basically you can replace almost every part of this weapon. Okay, by default I guess it's barrel standard and stock standard. This is as basic as you get. This is, well, pretty much, I think it's a Riot model, which may or may not be true. Okay, whatever, doesn't matter. As far as barrel versions go, it's the trench gun barrel with the heat shield and bayonet lug, and also a barrel that the game calls reinforced, which is longer barrel with this reinforcement vent rib kind of thing, kind of like a hunting shotgun for longer ranges. And as far as the stocks go, well, this is the standard stock. This is a stock the game calls cheek rest, which, yeah, it has a cheek rest. It also does have a more ergonomic grip, I guess, which is a version I am going to make as Skin1. As you can see, the longer barrel and this hunting type of stock, which looks kind of cool. Also, there is pretty much a stake out grip, but it's textured like it's made of wood instead of plastic, like the real thing. But there is no short barrel, unless you count the trench gun barrel short, which it isn't. Stakeout's barrel is even shorter. It's almost as long as the magazine tube. Whatever. What we're gonna do here, what we also have here is these barrels also can have a muzzle break. I forgot the name, but I must assume that this particular muzzle device makes the shot spread more horizontally than vertically, kind of like you know, those kinds of shotguns in classic video games like Doom, I don't know, or Serious Sam. Like they have more horizontal spread than vertical, almost no vertical spread. Anyway, that's not how shotguns in Left 4 Dead 2 works, but I just want to use two different barrels, and as such I am going to use the longer hunting barrel, and as Skin2 is gonna have the standard barrel with the muzzle break, because it makes it almost as long as the Skin1 barrel. So yeah, it's gonna look like this. It won't alter the spread or anything. I don't think it's possible. Maybe it is, but it's yaw and pitch. Maybe it is possible, but I haven't tampered with the scripts that much. Might as well try in my spare time. I will have plenty of spare time right now. I'm unemployed currently, and I absolutely have no idea if I am ever be able to work with people who are potential warmongers. It's basically my biggest concern right now, because running into those people and having to cope with their political viewpoints and stuff, it's terrible to even think of. Alright, so what are we here for? I have already kind of started working on the textures for this thing. Yeah, let's do exactly that. Crow work, current textures, Ithaca. Alright, so by default, Photoshop does not work with DDS textures. It requires a plugin or whatever, and apparently my particular version of Photoshop is pirated, of course. Naturally. Also, yeah, while the companies are like stopping sales in Russia, the piracy will only skyrocket, unless, you know, they disable the internet entirely, which probably isn't a thing. Even the Chinese have not disabled the internet completely. Well, anyway, apparently this thing runs on like subscribed plugins or whatever, so I haven't been able to make Photoshop work with DDS. PaintNet, the completely free program, however, works with DDS files nicely, but what I need the Photoshop for is it works with TGA, PNG, and whatever else. I need this for to be able to work with channels like red, green, blue, and alpha channel. This is important because, you know, I have already exported the DDS as TGA, so it will open in Photoshop. as you can see, it's not the blue kind of normal that we're used to. And also red channel is supposed to be horizontal, which isn't the case here if we pay attention to, well, pretty much everything, but in particular I like to look at the circular things like this one. This definitely is like the light shines from above and there is a shadow below, which is vertical, which is not what we want in our red channel. And green channel is supposed to be vertical, but in this case it's horizontal. So in this case the light goes from here, the light goes from the left and the shadow is on the right. So what we're doing here is select all, cut, paste it over here for now. Then we move red to where green was, and we move green where red was. So now we need to check if we have to invert one of the channels. It is never the red one, but sometimes I don't know if it's broken in game or it's broken when I export the files, or the game actually uses both types of inverted and not inverted normal maps, and the material tells whether they're inverted or not, but I'm not sure. But sometimes the normal maps are inverted, sometimes they are not, which is something you need to pay attention to when working with things like Payday 2 or Raid World War 2 normals, which is a bane of my existence. You know, in addition to all the other banes of my existence right now, I really wish that not having a QR code and being afraid of the coronavirus, which I had contacted, I had it confirmed, I actually had corona and my entire family had corona. I wish that was our only problems right now. Unfortunately, it's not the case. Okay, anyway, if you draw like axis in your copybook, I guess, X goes left to right and Y goes bottom to top. But in this case, at least in the case of the source engine, and I guess most of the video game engines anyway, which is also the case for computer images like this. 0 is actually left top left corner, so x-axis goes from left to right and y-axis from top to bottom. So we want the light to shine from left and from the top, which is the case here. I have mentioned in my previous normal mapping videos that, yeah, if you're an idiot like me, if you're not sure exactly, if you really want to check every possible situation, just do this, like it kinda looks stupid, but it works. It's almost foolproof. Also, blue is supposed to be fully white, and alpha channel, we are going to work on that soon enough. This is what we're used for those blue normal map channels with some pinks and cyan, I guess, if I'm pronouncing this correctly. So now I want this looks fun, right? It has like red and blue stuff, light blue stuff going on. Anyway, I am not entirely sure if I can somehow translate that to an exponent map, but what kind of works is well, it's this basically. Those gray areas are made of wood, and we don't want them to be super shiny, so this channel is not what we're looking for. Also, it makes certain parts really bright, which might as well include areas that are in shadow forever, and we don't want them to shine, so it's not obvious on this. Yeah, as you can see, this dark area and this area is completely white, so whatever that is, it will shine if we use it as a normal map alpha in my material setting, which was actually done by Angry Penguin 2T Lane. And I have used his materials ever since, with only slight modifications to whether the material uses the normal map alpha channel or the base map alpha channel. Okay, now we have all our channels. Blue is full white, alpha is this, and we can now save our normal map of the long barrel. Here we are done basically. Now we can delete files we don't need. We need df is diffuse, nm is normal map, and it's already this. Now what we're gonna do is just basically okay, long barrel is standard barrel, and standard barrel is actually the pump. Even though as you can see, every barrel has its own pump texture, in that it's terribly not really what's the word, not really optimized, not optimal, suboptimal as I like to say. Anyway, whatever. Okay, rename texture files to DDS, because basically those are DDS. Now we can open them. Now we can open them in PaintNet, save as TGA, so that we can actually open them in Photoshop and work with them there, because this thing, while it does kind of support layers, opacity, it does not have channels like those we can easily work with. I have tried some inventions with this, but it's just easier to use Photoshop really than tampering with whatever PaintNet has to offer. It's a rather limited set of options. Okay, so not the red channel. Green and blue are usually the same, but the blue is slightly lighter, brighter, I guess. So we are copying this one and paste it as alpha. Now, okay, cut green, paste here, cut red, paste in green, cut this and paste in red. Now, okay, I kind of lied about the light shining from left and top, because it's the other way around actually. Because if you see this part as something that looks like that bulges into the picture, or this thing, those are like looking at us right now. So the light actually shines from the right and from the bottom. Doesn't matter. You might as well shine a black flashlight onto this or whatever. So it's supposed to go like black to white, right, and black to white. Basically, this what we see here is now correct. You can also see this pump here. Every time you see a white stripe is going down, so it's an indent, and when you go back up it's black. So yeah, it goes like that, which is correct. And well, here we don't see much, but those white parts are actually going down and black are going up again. So this is correct, this is correct, this is what we want. Our normal map is kind of pink, but doesn't really matter, we save it anyway. And yeah, we done that. Okay, 2 textures down. Yeah, sadly I have to, like, might as well try to work faster without talking a lot. Might as well pause the video because, well, everything that goes after that is kind of the same stuff. And I've already spent a lot of your time. Okay, I'll just, as you can see, yeah, all of those barrels have their own pump in there, which are never used apparently in the game. There is no mesh that corresponds to this particular texture. Alright, that's 3 barrels. 2 of which are barrels, and one of them is used for the standard pump. Weirdly enough, there isn't even a standard length barrel apparently, because the standard length barrel is long. There is also reinforced and heat shield barrel, which is a separate barrel as well, which we are not using here for now. What's happening? What's happening is that we open this. Okay, control 4AX 5B 3X 4B 5X 3B S. That's not it though. We also need those GSM. I'm not sure what GSM is. This is not what we're looking for. This is what we are looking for. Copy that and paste as alpha, and now Control S. Okay, black to white, cool. This is what we want. Okay, this. We've done like half of that, I guess. Oh, slightly less than half of that. I guess I'll just pause the video right now and prepare the rest of the textures. Okay, I hope you don't mind. Took my sweet time. Got some water too. Alright, what was I? Done all the normals and stuff. Now, VTF edit, I guess. Let's import textures. Okay, it's probably not too important, but it's good to know that alright, if I leave everything here by default, which in my case is normal format DXT1, which if you import, say, a BMP, a JPEG, or maybe PNG or TGA image without, specifically without alpha channel, it will actually import as DXT1, and DXT1 has a single bit alpha channel, so it's either completely transparent, completely invisible, or completely visible. DXT3 and DXT5, I don't know what the difference is, but I just go with DXT5 for images with alpha format. Anyway, with the convention I save those files, I usually do not differentiate between 24-bit and 32-bit TGA images and PNG images. Sometimes I leave PaintNet to automatically determine whether it should have an alpha channel or not, but okay. Anyway, textures with alpha channels, whether they are useless or not, they take twice as much space as those without alpha channels. So in this case, if we open, say, a diffuse map of a long barrel, it is completely opaque. It is non-transparent in any way. There is no alpha channel. If we open it in, well, I'm not going to open it in Photoshop, by the way. I might as well just close it because I don't need it anymore. So let's open it in DxTBMP. I have this little utility program. Here's the alpha channel. It's completely white. It might as well just not be there at all because that's a non-transparent texture. So when I import this particular texture, if I import normal format DXT1, alpha format DXT5, generate Mipmaps. Mipmaps are textures that come smaller and smaller as the distance increases. And if you disable it, the file will be smaller because it does not contain smaller copies of itself. But you probably know why people shouldn't be wearing like striped shirts, dresses, or whatever on TV, because when they move, when they go farther or closer, it kind of ripples and looks not exactly great. That is kind of the case here. The textures will not be filtered. They will always appear at their highest mipmap, at their highest quality, and at distance it actually kind of clashes in a nearest neighbor kind of way, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it does not look cool. If you've ever encountered a mod, a weapon mod or character mod, which looks funny from a distance because it kind of begins rippling and stuff, it's probably because the texture does not have mipmaps. So always have mipmaps unless we're talking about something, well, ridiculously small, or maybe interface, like HUD icons and stuff. Anyway, if I import alpha format as DXT5, and this DDS image actually does have, even if it's full white, it does have an alpha channel. It's taken a while because it's quite a large texture. I guess it's 2K. I guess it's 2048 pixels. As you can see, there is a tick that says 8-bit alpha, which is not good in this case, because this means this texture is now twice as large as it has any right to be. So we import this texture again and change alpha format. It actually doesn't really understand whether well, it's a simple program. The VTF edit is a simple program, so we should force DXT1 in this case, and we should keep generate mipmaps. It will import this texture again, taking a while, and now we can see there is no tick. We cannot select this. So now we can save it. Raid Ithaca barrel. It's long probably. D for diffuse. Okay, now when I import the normal map, I do have an alpha channel in the normal map, so I need to change back to DXT5 so that when we import this, depending on whether you have mask enabled in view or not. I think I do have enabled it right now. Yeah, if you have it disabled, it will just look like this without alpha channel, and if you go to view mask, it will actually have some of the parts much more transparent than the other ones. And we have now 8-bit alpha over here. Mipmaps is this. Yeah, goes really far. It's probably every single power of 2. I don't know, doesn't matter. Also, there is normal map tick which we can tick or kept unticked. I don't know if it makes any difference, but okay, I'll take it. N for normal map. Now let's continue, and just so we don't switch between DXT1 and DXT5 all the time, just proceed with importing the rest of the normal maps with DXT5 selected. Tick this little normal map tick, check the Mipmaps, yeah, they're here. And this is barrel reinforced, I think. Reinforced. Yep, that probably is a reinforced map. I can't. Well, those dots are probably, you know, those rib points. So that's, yeah, that's probably a reinforced barrel. Yeah, that's a reinforced barrel. All right, standard. Taking a while. Normal map. Save. STD. I'm not really looking forward to type standard every time fully. Body standard. This is probably also a large texture. Alright. Ithaca, not barrel, it's body now. Save. We can also see some shell textures. It says 12 gauge. Yeah, it's a shell texture. Funnily enough, this model, let me hide the stock and show the shell. This most of the shotguns in Raid use this model with a generic texture from Payday 2 because Lion Game Lion. Anyway, I've retextured this model to, well, actually use textures from this model. It doesn't look too ugly, I guess, but it's something. I mean, it's here. Why just not use that? And why would you place shell textures inside your gun part textures? How does that make any sense? I mean, it's perfectly sensible if you have a lot of weapons that share the same ammunition, magazines, barrel attachments and stuff. Just make them as separate textures, separate meshes and stuff. Instead, in video games, we see, like in, I don't know, some sort of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, for instance, we have maybe 5 rifles that use Stanag NATO 5.56 millimeter rounds, and they all have their own different magazine textures and sometimes misshapen weird meshes as well. Why just not have a shared texture which looks much nicer and may or may not be camouflaged as well? I'll never understand game developers. I'll probably never become one as well with the things going on right now. Unless they switch the internet, and I'll have to just make something, probably maps for Unreal or whatever. Alright, so this is a Muzzle Break rather small texture, so it didn't take long to import. Stocks probably are large. So yeah, it's taken a while. Yeah, as always, as usual, it's 2K texture, so if you combine all the textures used by the shotgun, you might as well call it a 4K texture, because yeah, there is a barrel, there is a body, there is a stock, and well, there is a few small textures that well fill everything else. The shells, the muzzle breaks, yada yada. So yeah, that's 4K gaming. That's why those mods are kind of larger than I usually release. I usually don't release mods that are like larger than 10 megabytes. Now they're like 25 or 30. Alright, so this is a stock cheek rest. And this is a stock standard, which is the final normal map. I have a feeling I might have to make a pause again, because it's getting repetitive. I mean, yeah, that's modding, that's repetitive as hell, unless you make something new every day. So every time somebody asks to make whatever I have already made, but instead of AK it should be M16 or some other slot, or maybe can you do the same thing but with a suppressor, can you do the same thing but with a different scope, whatever. It's nothing exciting. It is one of those things that I would only start doing when I'm incredibly bored, because I have done everything else that was available for me at the moment. So basically all those requests, can you make whatever you just made but for every slot in the game, because yeah, because more variety, I guess. It's not exciting, it's tedious, and it's not as simple as changing like rifle M16A2 to rifle AK-47. It also requires me to play with sounds again, which is probably the most annoying thing. More specifically, the reloading sounds. The AK's reloading sounds are not many, and they are rather short, so whenever I have something long, like I don't know, one of the longest sounds I've worked with so far is probably the M1 Garand's ping when the clip is ejected. So long, in fact, that I had to slightly shorten it to replace the deploy sound of the hunting rifle, because it just did not fit. It was slightly longer, and unfortunately not as cool as it was always supposed to be, but it works. So yeah, sometimes you have to replace long sounds like deploy. In some cases it's clip in some cases it's clip locked, maybe some hidden unused sounds. Sometimes those modes conflict with each other, because you know, not everyone, but a lot of people actually know that there's a bunch of unused sounds in the game, and sometimes they are kind of long, such as axe breaking or frying pan breaking. They are actually quite long, and there is a lot that can be placed in them, like almost half of the machine gun reloading, including rattling of the belt and stuff. Where was I? STD. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna make a... no. I'm going to now import diffuse maps, but change DXT5 to DXT1 so that it does not import it as a large file with alpha channels, because we don't need those. Yeah. Don't forget to change, actually just remove all of that, barrel reinforced N, but instead of N it's D because it's diffuse map. And now I will pause the video for a while, and we're back. Alright, you probably already have I or have I not said about that in any of my previous videos, but I have my working folder of sorts where I store materials and textures so that I would actually see them in the model viewer. So yeah, well, this should look familiar for all of you that have been following me. This is a Winchester with a ribbed barrel, with a cuts compensator, fancy furniture. Yeah. So what I did is add a few more model variations, in particular the barrel, the foregrip, and the stock. And you cannot see them right now because this by default is Skin1 and this is Skin2. So what I did to achieve this is compile both all of the model pieces not as body groups. Body groups would be fine, but this is L4D2, so body groups are pretty much reserved for character models. Probably not gonna work for weapons, or maybe I just don't know the proper way to do that. Anyway, actually, if you select something like wireframe, you will see both stocks, both barrel versions, kinda, and both pumps, or maybe bad vertex data. You will also kind of see both pumps and stuff. Both stocks definitely, because one of them is over here and another one has this nice stock pad. And if we go back to textured, we actually hide them from our view. Because what I did is, if you see here, TextureGroup, SkinFamilies, long barrel Skin2, barrel standard Skin2, foregrip long, anyway, Skin1 is the first row of materials, and Skin2 is the second row of materials. So what you have here as Skin1 is fancy stock being visible, standard stock being invisible, like no draw. Fancy pump being visible, not fancy pump being not visible. Same goes with the barrel. And when you select Skin2, it makes those parts invisible, and those parts that have been invisible, they are now visible. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, this is Skin2. This is more regular than Skin1, because I wanted Skin1 to actually be cool and for, you know, variety reasons. Since they kind of have to be almost the same length, or otherwise the glowing outline will have like sort of barrels and a few ghost barrels going on or whatever. So I'm not doing that. I'm trying to keep the barrel lengths and stock versions kind of in the same sensible length parameters or whatever. So this is exactly what I am going to do with the Ithaca right now. So at this point, yeah, What I want is basically copy this folder, or maybe not, or maybe not. No, I don't want to copy it. I want to copy like one. Oh, as you can see, this is the entire material. It's just no draw. It's just invisible. There is no font, no bump maps, no reflections, no texture. It's just not drawn at all. And Skin2 is this, you know, with font, environment maps, etc., etc. All right. Yeah. Copy this one. New folder, raid Ithaca, for instance. Paste it over here and kinda wait. I now want this to be moved here. Alright, what are we going to do now is unhide everything. Hide things I don't want. I don't want the first slug, I don't want the first break, I don't want the shielded barrel, I don't want the stakeout grip, and everything else is alright. Let's save this file. Let's open. In my case, it's still going to be this Winchester on Shotgunner Fox. On Shotgunner Fox animations. I've already exported that as well. Yeah, well, so let's save it as vraid Ithaca and just outright delete the entire Winchester from here, and I unhide everything, which includes this here shotgun. Alright, and my perfectly fine flashlight. Let's delete the skin from here for now and hide it. I don't want that, and save. Now merge raid Ithaca. Let's merge everything, and now we can see the parts I don't really want here. So yeah, let's go ahead and delete them. I don't really want to mess with them right now. Fine, good. Let's see if every body part has the same pivot point. Yeah, I don't see anything else because I've already moved this one's pivot point. Okay, so let's try scaling to 40%. I think. This is probably due to conversion between like centimeters and inches. So yeah, that's why in Call of Duty and Payday 2 and many other games, the weapon model size is usually 2.5 times larger than L4D2 ones, for example. Alright. What do I even start? I probably start with expand all. Oh, okay. Alright, so I'm guessing, and that's probably correct, that this thing uses like default valve biped bones, like weapon bone, charger slide, clip bullets. Alright, fair enough. I was looking for something else, but since this is a reanimation, this makes sense that it actually uses the default bones. This is the idle position because the reference position has slightly misplaced parts, so yeah, it's easier to just import the idle animation, which in this case consists of one frame, and it's probably not even idle, it's just still, you know, base pose animation. Anyway. Ugh. Weapon bone is like X. I want X. I want these things X to be here, so they're right above each other. Oh, and I need to upscale it a bit, because right now the pump shotgun's pump is over here and Ithaca is over there, and its long barrel is kind of small, so yeah, let's scale it as 50 instead of 40. I'm already seeing a difference, and probably it is now too much. Let's check out. Alright, so the pump is pretty much in the same place. The barrel is now significantly longer, thankfully. Well, the stock and the receiver look larger now, which I'm not entirely sure if I should keep it that way, or maybe downscale it like a little bit, like a tiny little bit, maybe. Let's try 48. 48. Alright. Alright, so Ithaca's receiver is kind of shorter than Remington, I guess. The pump base is now kind of in the same spot. The length doesn't really matter. What matters is the its back position, kinda, I guess, I think. Alright, might as well move it slightly forward. Alright, hide and select it, unhide our reference model. We're never gonna see the trigger anyway, so a slight clipping over there is fine as long as there is not much clipping on the actual grip, which I'm guessing is gonna be fine here, since we're not gonna see a lot of it anyway. Okay, this is fine. Might as well paste X coordinates in there again, just to be sure that everything is alright. Okay, fine. Let's save. And what I like to do is now hide everything. Check again what's going on with the bones. There is not much bones here. There is basic weapon bone. Trigger is not animated because you're never going to see this in a first-person shooter. Basically, your trigger is usually somewhere over here and you don't see it unless it's a revolver or a pistol that really has a very long trigger or something. Then again, in the position you usually hold it, you don't really see the trigger, so there's practically no reason to animate triggers unless it's some kind of cool animation where you cock the hammer and the trigger also moves backwards, because that's how double action, single action things work. Alright, charger slide, which is full red, which is 100% pump and ejection port. In this case, Ithaca's ejection port is down below, so we're not touching that. It is not important on this particular animation. It was important in my previous Winchester model because it kinda made the bolt clip through the gun, which I had to fix by weighting the bolt 50% to the weapon bone and 50% to the bolt bone, which is kind of funny because when you move the pump, it moves fully and the bolt actually moves only halfway, as it kind of supposed to do. But then again, I don't have any clipping issues. The alternative would be completely remodeling the bolt, or maybe the gun, or maybe something else entirely, and this is a better solution, honestly. IMO, in my opinion. Okay, weapon clip and weapon clip bullets. Those are shells that are inside the gun. I cannot really see them, so what I like to do is clone this reference model, hide the original one, and now edit it, despite the warnings. Oh, it also moved elsewhere. As you can see, this is how the reference pose looks like. The pump is over here, the bolts, yeah, the shells are God knows where, but what I want to do is select the receiver and delete it, and maybe select the barrel and delete. No, I don't want that. Okay, and now deselecting this returns our shotgun model back to where it belongs. We can now kind of clearly see the shells. Yeah, this is one, this is the second one. Okay, let's see. Weapon clip is right there, and weapon clip bullets is over there. Alright, let's go back and actually delete the bolt from this copy. I don't really need it, and delete the barrel because it no, not the barrel, or maybe the barrel. Let's delete the barrel, and let's delete the insides of, you know, the loading gate, or whatever you might call it, so that I would see more clearly where the shells are. Here they are, here are the shells. The bottom shell is weapon clip, the top shell is weapon clip bullets, and now slug 001, it's here, it's this thing. I want you to be over there. Start like here. Yeah, this is fine, and have another one. I might as well. I hope that's not a big problem that this shell is slightly longer. That was a problem in my Winchester mode, because it clipped slightly through the receiver on the deploy animation, which I hope won't be the case here. Okay, so I have placed my shells. I also like to add a second underscore, so that when I sort them, they actually come on top, as opposed to everything else. Okay, so barrel is weapon bone, body is weapon bone, brake is weapon bone, lifter is not animated in here, slide Slide should be renamed with an additional underscore. Stock trigger. That's it. That's it for now. Save. Okay, sort again. Slide. So slide is supposed to be. I am supposed to unhide everything because otherwise I won't see the bones. Bones. Weapon charger slide. Weapon charger slide in this case because this thing has weapon charger slide as one of its bones, which is used for the pump and the ejection port. And the ejection port is invisible here, so pump only. Slug. So this one is weapon clip bullets. Weapon clip bullets, and the lower one is weapon clip. They are both important in this animation, in this particular set. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is weapon bone. Simply as that. Weapon bone. Weapon bone. Now, let's hide everything again, but our shotgun, and put a light on it. Let there be some light. Okay, so we have a ripped barrel. We have a ripped barrel, and I probably have ignored that fact on the Winchester. I haven't. I have actually attached the flashlight mount to the magazine tube. Okay. That is better than attaching it to a barrel that might as well be of different thicknesses, and having those ribs that might as well not allow you to mount this here flashlight mount. What I'm supposed to do is make the mount like this and not completely encircle like the other side. I've done this already on the Auto 5, so let's import that and delete this one. Yep, whatever, doesn't matter about the materials and stuff. Okay, so what I did kinda is, well, yeah, it's this. Let's see how. Yeah, well, by default it's not different, not much different at least. I mean, there is like a small set of 2 polygons in here, and I didn't even make that, so that's entirely correct. It's also slightly angled for more realism, I guess, because I wanted it to happen. Also, what about your scale? 90. I want 100 for now. I also want you to go to 0, 0, 0, 0. Now I want X to be this. Its pivot is right in the middle of the mount, which is great. And I want you to be like here, probably. I cannot mount it over here because, you know, Skin2 will have yeah, Skin2 will have that muzzle break, so at most I can mount it like over here, so that we can hide break and hide standard barrel, and it will be mounted like that. Yeah, that's fine. And with the standard barrel, it will actually look like this, unless it has a muzzle brake, which is the case here, and it will look like this, which is fine, which is perfectly fine. Except I don't want it to be rotated to this side, and I want it to be rotated to this side. Oh, for even more realism, right? Right. Perfect, great. Yeah, and 100 scale. Nice. Skin. Now let's hide everything. Unhide everything. Weapon, bone. Alright. Someone arrived with a doggo. So I should probably pause the video, make sure nobody is walking around in their underwear here, because I pretty much have done something already. You know, this video is long enough, so I should really cut it and make the rest of this video as the second part. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I might as well disable the camera in the next video so that people might as well go in their underwear over here. Which includes me, because, you know, I might as well get rid of this fancy t-shirt I have dressed nicely just for this particular occasion of showing off my ugly face to you. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part of this video. We'll stay in touch for as long as the Russian government does not actually ban YouTube, and if they do, well, let's hope that good old VPN can handle that as well. Thanks for watching, bye!